Reporting on your sponsorship payments. It's important to note that in GiveCloud, a sponsorship consists of two things: a link between the child and the sponsor, and a recurring payment for the sponsorship. Let's have a look at that. We can go to Features, Sponsorship, Sponsors to see a list of all of our active and ended sponsorships. If we look at this example here, we can see that Joey Bags is sponsoring Child 1. And we can also see here that there's a recurring payment created for $31.17, and it's monthly, and it's on the 17th of each month. Now, we can click the recurring transaction here to see the recurring agreement and see the details of that. And we can click on transactions here to see any payments that were processed relating to this sponsorship. Each payment will show up in here, and the response of whether it's successful or failed, and a failed reason will show up as well. Sponsorship payments can fail due to things like a card being expired or insufficient funds on someone's card. This is the first place that you can see payments related to a specific sponsorship. Now, when a sponsor sets up a new sponsorship, whether it's through your website or you create it through the internal point of sale, first, a contribution is created and lands in your contribution inbox to represent that initial contribution that set up the sponsorship. You can see that in contributions, all contributions. And by clicking more filters here, you can filter this list for only contributions related to sponsorships. Now, all contributions land in this inbox. So if you want to see the ones related specifically to sponsorships, you'll need to filter it here. So let's click on sponsorships. And now we can see all contributions that were created either through the website or through the point of sale, where someone's chosen the source of phone here, that were created to set up a new sponsorship. Let's have a look at one of these. If we click into it, we can see that the supporter or sponsor, Joey Bags, chose to sponsor this child for $31.17 per month, which includes the $1.17 of admin fees. The contribution was created here, but also a recurring payment was also created to process the payment for the sponsorship on a monthly basis. Now, to report on all payments towards sponsorships on your entire site, you can do that in Contributions, Contribution Line Items Report. Now, this report shows all payments that have processed through your GiveCloud site. This could be payments for donations, payments for sponsorships, payments for purchases of items, and so on. And this list can be filtered down. To do that, you can click on More Filters and choose this filter related to sponsorships. If we select any here, we will see all payments related to sponsorships that have processed through our GiveCloud site. Now, you can further filter that down by period to say, for example, show me all payments related to sponsorships over a specific period. And it's important to note that this report shows any payments directly related towards sponsorships, such as a sponsorship payment of a specific amount, but also if the sponsor chose to cover the fees of the payment as well, those will also be included in this report. Now, let's look at an example here. If we look at this payment here, we can see that there was a recurring payment that was processed on February 5th for the sponsorship of Hope, and the sponsorship payment was $50. We can also see right underneath it here that there was also a DCC amount, or the sponsor chose to cover the cost of the transaction, of $175 as well, which gives a total payment amount of $51.75. Now we can click on this to see more details of the recurring payment. And we can see when it's due to process, the period on which it processes, and the recurring payment amount here, which includes that $1.75 of admin fees as well. Additionally, on this contribution line items report, we can filter by additional sponsorship custom fields that we have created on our children. So for example, we can filter for any payments that were related to children from a specific village or a specific school as well. You can use one or multiple of these filters to filter down your sponsorship payments to report on the data that you need to get. It's important to note that on the contribution line items report, in the reference column, this will either be populated with the contribution number or the recurring payment ID. Contributions indicate that a new sponsorship was created versus recurring payment, which indicates that a payment related to a sponsorship, to an existing sponsorship, has been processed. You can filter these down using the one-time and recurring filter here. Filtering for one time will show you all new sponsorships that were created, i.e. contributions, versus filtering for recurring, which will show any payments that were processed related to a recurring payment towards a sponsorship.